Home matters. Doing more than opening doors and putting signs in the yards, because your home matters, and so do you.
This episode of Home Matters is brought to you by Mary Gervais Brantley with Mortgages by MG, helping you get ready for your next move.
Hey guys, we're here again with Mary Gervais, and I have a very particular question because I get asked a lot.
Okay.
What do buyers need? What kind of homework do they need to do before going to see you for the first time about getting a mortgage?
That's a fantastic question. I'm glad you came up with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it homework?
Yeah.
All right. So there are a number of times when we talk to people that really don't have any kind of idea, where they stand. And I'm not saying all of your boxes have to be checked and you have to have everything fine and dandy and, wrapped up in a pretty little bow. But I think it is incredibly helpful when a client does have at least some sort of grasp of their financial picture. They understand how they're being paid. They, they have at least they're monitoring their credit. There are some really great online websites that you can use to monitor your credit. I would say don't really focus on the credit score, but it does help you realize kind of where your credit score is trending and then what's also reporting. So I think homework would to be, look at your pay stubs, see how you're being paid. Are you hourly? Are you salaried? Are you a 1099 contracted contractor? There have been a couple of times I've had conversations with people that they are solidly sure that they are W-2'd, and we look at and they're 1099 or their taxes are not being withheld from their pay stubs.
Yeah.
Those are fun conversations. So, really kind of, let's rip that Band-Aid off and see how you're paid. And then also, if you were not monitoring your credit, I highly recommend that you start. You can go to your free annual report, creditreport.com, annualcreditreport.com. And you can get a copy of your Experian, your Equifax, and your TransUnion report for free. Since COVID, you could get them as many times as you wanted. Typically, it was about you get them once a quarter, or you can get each report once a year, but they still might have the situation down where you can get it pretty much whenever you want. So if that's still up on the table, I would honestly recommend probably going and getting each report every quarter. You never know what's going to pop up. There might be a medical bill that pops up on your collection. There might be something from 5 years ago that you had no idea that you thought you had paid off. And you're like, oh, wait, it's now in collections. So things like that. And, you don't necessarily have to take care of all of those things. But if you just have a good understanding of, hey, I owe this is outstanding, this is a collection, we can work with that. Really, I think income, look at your credit report. If you look at your credit report and you see that all of your credit cards are, over their max limit, that's going to greatly affect your credit score.
Right.
You're showing that you are using more credit than what you've been offered. And so, work on, maybe doing this snowball effect. Maybe let's pay off these smaller debts and then, work to pay these larger debts down. Things like that. And you don't and I just want to reiterate, you don't have to have it all figured out. That is not what we're asking.
But a good place to start.
And say, okay, my Experian credit score, my Experian.com says my credit is this. My FICO score says it's this. I've had multiple conversations with people that haven't ever looked at monitoring their credit. And then when we go through the conversation and we do an application and we do look at their credit report, they're sometimes shocked about what's being reported and why their credit score might be so low. And that's never a fun conversation. I'm not trying to, make anyone upset, but your credit report is a reflection of your ability to repay debt that you have borrowed.
Right.
I did not do that to you.
Right.
Unfortunate. I'm sorry. but
Yeah.
I'm just the bearer of bad news sometimes.
And as my mom would say, you slept in this bed, now make it up.
Yeah, it's your bed. You can make it up now. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just having decent grasp of, okay, this is how much I make. This is kind of what my debts look like. This is what's reporting.
And this is not really to help you out because you have
This will help me out.
it's just so they're not shocked or surprised or disappointed by the outcome of what you do.
Absolutely.
They already know in advance.
Yeah.
And so there's no surprises there, which helps the communication greatly.
And that's all it is. It's just communicating. Like,
Right.
I will help you however it needs to be done, but we've got to have some place to start.
Right.
And if I need to rip off all the Band-Aids for you, that's fine. But you might not like me so much.
Right. That's right. Might hurt a bit.
Might hurt. It's all in good. And
So homework, at least know your, kind of
kind of how you paid and then kind of where you stand with your credit.
credit.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks. Cool.
Absolutely.
And by Angela Barrett at HomeMattersSC.com. Building on what matters to you.